A Poway wrestling tale. Hundreds of wrestlers from Z to Q wanted to know what the legend knew. For they were young and he was old. And this is the tale that the master told.
How do we want to be remembered? Do you want to be the team that squeaked by and won that championship with a nice, with some wins in the finals? Or do you want a team that makes a statement as the greatest team ever in California? We coined the term a couple years ago, Titan style, and that was going to tell people how we live our lives, and it's an attack style of life. And first I had to live it, right? So I said, when I became the head coach, we're going to go hunt out the top competition in the world. I don't care where it is, we'll go. We're not ranked in the top 10. You're ranked number 2 in the country. Let's wrestle. That's what I did with Buchanan. My first year, I called those guys up. I said, hey, how about a duel? All right, let's do it. We got our butts kicked, right? For 3-4 years, we got our butts kicked. Kept coming back. And kids see that, and then we talk about that's what you have to do in real life. That's what you have to do on the wrestle mat. We're moving forward all the time, hunting down that takedown. We're not going to wait. We're not going to try to win 1-0. We're not going to stall. We're going to go after it. We're going to be very aggressive, and that's the way we try to live our lives on the attack.
Titan style is the ethos to take on anywhere, at any time. Consequently, Poway went to the Doc Buchanan tournament, which featured St. Ed's from Ohio, featured Daniel Cormier, a UFC and American wrestling icon's vaunted Gilroy team, and of course, Clovis and Buchanan. Poway went conquered with Titan style and won the Doc Buchanan tournament. That was followed by a duel where they invited the top team from Arizona, Sunnyside. And in Titan style, they embraced that wrestling is a fight. It is a battle. Sunnyside showed up ready to fight. And the fans were treated to a magnificent duel. The result was a great Titan win. Sunnyside battled hard, but Poway came out on top by a wide, impressive margin. Titan style, of course, is to fight anyone, anywhere, at any time. It's impressive to beat the #1 team from Arizona, but that was at home. It's an entirely different proposition to go to the belly of the beast and try to take on Buchanan in Buchanan. The odds were high. Titan style would be put to the test.
Again, the stress levels have to be low. And it's kind of a fine line. You want a little bit of nervousness. That means you're ready to fight. You know, these kids, they're almost professional athletes. They've been through so much and so many unique situations in their lives. You know, some of these kids have wrestled overseas and in way bigger tournaments than this. So just probably the biggest thing, if I had to pick one, is just believing in yourself and knowing that what you've done is enough, and then just going out there and having fun, letting it fly. Again, like I said, for the Arizona, you guys deserve this, and this is obviously the biggest duel and most fanfare anyway for California and across the country right now. So be excited about that. You guys earned the right to be in this, right? And last thing I'll say, whatever the outcome, you know, I remember saying this last year, whatever the outcome, right? We still have to go to CIF, Masters, and State. You know, we go out there, we beat these guys up. Okay, back to work next week, get ready for CIF, Masters, and State. The outcome isn't what we want. Same thing, we go back, get back to work. Try to win those individual state titles and that team state title. Okay. But I'm excited. All the other coaches are excited. People at home, the community. Again, I'm getting texts from a bunch of alumni. They're excited for you guys. So, you know, be happy, be grateful, and be excited for this. All right. Any questions? All right.
Let's go, lady!
Bout to take a win. Take the win, take the win, take the win. Rings on my knuckles, sunlight, let it clean. I cannot realize how you I cannot make amends. Make it how they pop out and they bout to take a win.
Big ticket item, I'm the one that they will see. I don't know about the will do's or the will be's. I don't need a once was, they misunderstood me. When I told them giants in the room is where I could be. And I should be, I will, and I am now. Looking at the kid like I turned into a cash cow. I don't need a lesson on the business cause you cashed out. You a light bulb, I'm a flame, you flashed out.
Take the win, take the win, take the win. Rings on my knuckles, sunlight, let it clean. I cannot realize how you I cannot make amends. Make it how they pop out and they bout to take a win. Take the win, take the win, take the win. Rings on my knuckles, sunlight, let it clean. I cannot realize how you I cannot make amends. Make it how they pop out and they bout to take a win.
Friendly faces all around, yes ma'am. Cause I made a move, made a scene, made a plan. Pull up in the Lamb, throw back to the minivan. Big baller hustle, that's the way to make it stand. And the fans, and the stands, and the stands. Quicker than the ones trying to catch me with their hands. That's adrenaline when I beat their fans. I just stayed ahead, the
Bout
result.
to take a win. Take the win, take the win, take the win. Rings on my knuckles, sunlight, let it clean. I cannot realize how you I cannot make amends. Make it how they pop out and they bout to take a win. Take the win, take the win, take the win. Rings on my knuckles, sunlight, let it clean. I cannot realize how you I cannot make amends. Make it how they pop out and they bout to take a win.
We continue everything we've been doing the entire year. You guys have put in so much hard work. We just continue the same thing. Makes our ride a lot more fun for the most part, getting that win, and up here, I know that's hard.
Talk about team effort. It comes down to each and every one of you, and yeah, proud of all you guys. Proud of all you guys, man. You came in here to the Hornets' nest, and you didn't back down. You just kept fighting. That's really proud of all you guys.
Yeah, and I'll just piggyback on what you said, you guys. I think I told you guys this. When I started this whole thing where I wanted to wrestle Buchanan, we were ranked like 18th or 20th in the country when I started this. I think it was my first year, second year. And I was sitting in class, and I texted the coach, and I said, let's do a duel. And he asked me, do you want us to come down there? And I said, no. I want it, and they were ranked like second or third in the country. I said, I want to make it as difficult as possible for our kids. I want to do it up there. I said, I want to see all the fanfare that like you guys do for Clovis. That's what I want. Okay. So I'm glad we beat these guys. I'm glad you guys did it up here. That says a lot out of all you guys. And no matter what happened to you guys, I can honestly say this. I can't always say this. I can honestly say this. Every one of you guys fought your asses off. No matter what the outcome was, you fought your asses off. So keep your head up about that. Something didn't go your way, we go back in and we work on it. Okay? I know how good all of you guys are. I know. So if something happened here that you didn't want to happen, I get it, you're upset, we'll get over it and move on to the next thing. All right? I'm very proud of you guys.
It's my first time being a part of a team like this, and love you guys and love seeing you guys get after it and have fun kicking butt with your teammates. But goal's not done. They're not happy about the results tonight. They're going to be coming back hard once they come to home. So guys, goal's not done, and it's just not the 14 that won this duel. It's all the other people in that room that put in that work.
For Poway to do what they did, I wouldn't just give them their kudos for the state tournament. They did the same thing at the Doc Buchanan tournament. They went into Buchanan's home, straight into Fresno, and beat them there. And that field, I would say, could be definitely tougher than the California State Tournament, just with all the out-of-towners and the highly ranked wrestlers that are there. But I think for Poway to go do that the way they did, to be the ones to dethrone Buchanan, not an easy feat. And I don't think it's just a season's worth of work. It's years and years and years worth of work. And I believe Coach Myers has had this team for 6 years now, and it's been a culmination of those 6 years of Coach Myers plus the years before, headed by Coach Brandstetter and then Coach Myers as an assistant. But the pieces have been working together for this culmination of the ultimate Poway team, the ultimate California team. And it's something that every team strives to do, and Buchanan and Clovis have been the dominant forces to be able to do that. But 2024, Poway Titans came in, and they not only said we're going to be the new champions, but they said we're going to be the best to ever do it. And that was pretty incredible to see.
It shows us where we are. It definitely shows us exactly where we are, and some of the reason for that, going to that, those tougher duels and tournaments, is so we can fix things that are exposed. We could stay around San Diego and be really excited that we won every tournament by 200 points, or we can go off and try to hunt down the best competition in the country and the world and get exposed, and then come back and fix things. The state tournament, it's not going to be perfect. There are going to be things that happen there that we have to come back and as a staff fix. Whether it's coaching or things off the mat or the technique that needs to be taken care of. We'll be taking care of that. Give them a week off, and 2 weeks later we have to fix that stuff before they go to another tournament.
The greatness of Poway wrestling is symbolized in San Diego County being the largest landmass county in the United States. For over 4 decades, in fact, 4 decades plus 4 years, Poway Wrestling has won the CIF Masters Championship. 40 plus 4, 44 up and 44 down, Poway has always come home with the Masters CIF Wrestling crown.
Now this is the law of the jungle. It is as old and true as the sky. For the wolf that shall keep it will prosper, but the wolf that won't shall surely die. As the creeper that girdleth the tree trunk, the law runneth forward and back. For the strength of the pack is the wolf, and the strength of the wolf is the pack. For this is the law of the jungle. It is as old and true as the sky. up they went with the trophy in hand and hoisted it on the medal stand.
And then there's Elias Navida. What a lot of people don't know is at CIF week, we were up until I was in that room right there with him until 3:30 in the morning trying to make weight. And then we had to wake up at 4:30 to drive to the tournament. You know, he's 9 pounds over after practice on the night before weigh-ins. So you know, that was a big. That's something hard for him. He could have said, "I'm not doing this, coach. I'm not feeling it. I can't do it." He never wavered. I can do this, you know. So we did it.
You know, I had to work it off. And I was like super tired. I knew I was a big part. Not just me, but like everyone. But I knew if I wasn't wrestling at the state tournament, I knew I had to make the weight. So I was on the treadmill, and then I remember at like 2 or 2:30, Myers had me like hop on the bike in the room, and like the heater was on, and the bike was like right under the heaters, blasting me for like an hour straight. And yeah, I was able to get the weight off.
May it be recorded and remembered that Poway Wrestling has been dominant due to Coach Wayne Brandstetter, who built the program from scratch and made it a masterpiece for the ages. Perhaps his last best gift to Poway Wrestling was to put John Myers in charge as his replacement when he left. Most great programs that have legendary coaches, when it is turned over, the ship comes to a grinding halt. But in this case, the ship flew higher, faster, farther with the leadership of John Myers. Bullfight critics, row on row, fill the enormous arena below. But only one is there who knows, and he's the one that fights the bulls.
The kids that are taken care of, you know, things like we talk about, your sleep, your eating habits, your hydration, your stress levels. You know, how are your relationships? Are you keeping those stress levels down? How are your grades? You know, kids can get stressed because of grades. All those off the mat facets of your life add up to be just as important as the things that you're doing on the mat. And there are a lot of kids out there that don't take care of those things, and especially the high stress weeks like we're moving into this week.
What mindset do you need to have going into a big match? What we've heard from all our coaches, we've done a lot of mindset training, is just you can't worry about anything else than just wrestling as hard as you can for 6 minutes, and wrestling smart, being aggressive, and then that should take care of itself. If you're the better wrestler, you'll win.
The mindset you need to have is you need to be extremely confident in your training and God. You need to just go out there and let it all fly, because if you wrestle as hard as you can for 6 minutes, you'll have no regrets at the end of the match.
What mindset do you need to have going into a big match? I think about big matches, I feel like, a lot differently than most people. I see them more as like a fun thing, and like, oh, I get to wrestle like this really good guy. It's more of an opportunity to score and see where I'm at. And I think it's more of a challenge to myself.
I think you have to have the mindset of going out and wrestling 6 minutes hard, not worrying about anything else.
It's obviously easier said than done, but just kind of not really worrying about the results, just going out there and wrestling hard and trusting in what our coaches tell us and the work we put in, and yeah, just take care of itself.
For me, it's just the thoughts that I worked harder than my opponent, and yeah, I'm the better guy.
I definitely need a strong mindset and a confident mindset, and not really worrying about the negative things, just being positive.
I like to be calm but energized, you know, a nice little warm-up, ready, trying to be a little more like on the happy side of things, smiling.
Yeah, the mindset you have to have is you have to focus on what you can't control. The referee's going to make a call you can't control, that doesn't matter. You can control getting that first takedown. You can control breaking your guy flat to the mat. You can control getting up to your feet, pushing the guy up to the edge, taking those shots, building that lead, and then looking for the bonus. They've been doing it all year, and they're going to do it this weekend as well.
So many rings. Like back to back ain't a real thing. We got so many rings. I'ma do the whole look. So many rings. So many rings. So many rings. Yeah. So many rings. And we go back to back to back to back. Like back to back ain't a real thing. I got so many rings. Yeah. So many rings. We go back to back to back to back. Like back to back real ain't a thing. So many rings. So many.
Anyone saying that I ain't brought life to the game, well I'm dead in it. They ain't touching the record, I'm celibate. I done locked up the game like a felony. All my dogs coming with me like Rico, we charge up the city like Tesla. I ain't do it for the fame, I just did it for the reins. Holy winter in my veins, only platinum, gold and diamonds my name. Oh, diminished, I've been popping for a minute. I've been focused on the finish. Feel like the best, I'll admit it. Catch a body, anybody can get it. They want the shoes, but I don't think they can fit it. Try to doubt me, now I'm really offended. Got the trophy, now it's really our city. So many rings.
Yeah, so many rings. We go back to back to back to back. Like back to back real ain't a thing. So many rings. Yeah, so many rings. We go back to back like it ain't no thing. Got so many rings. So many, so many, so many rings. So many, so many, so many rings. So many, so many, hey, so many, so many. We got so many rings.
So many rings, it look like my whole hand made of ice. Back to back trips, dog, I'm nothing they like. Feel like the greatest, I step in the light. Whoever the odd, gon' opt by the life. Fixated, mine on that ring, I've been fixated. I control the whole game, I'm a dictator. Got the world on my shoulders, I live nature. They been tryna take my shine, cause they too shady. It's nothing that's like me, the real P. I'm praying the critics don't kill me. It's been 82 games and I'm still me. Yeah, I'm consistent. Look at my average, I'm still on a mission. Been on her standard, the one that they missing. I can hear the ring, and they act like I'm tripping. I go with it up, how they hear it on mention. Me, it's the one at the ring. It's the one on the jeans, winning the fees. It's the one on the Wheaties box, living a dream. Keep up the coverage of me and the team. Interview crazy, I'm making the scene. Hope I gon' take it, repeating for 3.
So many rings. Yeah, so many rings. We go back to back to back to back. Like back to back real ain't a thing. So many rings. Yeah, so many rings. We go back to back like it ain't no thing. Got so many rings. So many, so many, so many rings. So many, so many, so many rings. So many, so many, hey, so many, so many. We got so many rings.
Had this been in any other state, that magnificent performance would have been a virtuoso state championship. But California, especially in the sport of wrestling, is no ordinary state. A CIF championship is the equivalent of a state championship in other states, but because of 35 million people, it is only the stepping stone to the next level, the California State Championship. The grueling, glorious gauntlet, known as the California State Championship, loomed in the distance.
I don't really have any fears as far as the state tournament goes or for wrestling. It's more, well, I guess a fear could be just not wrestling to the best of my ability, whether that be from having a bad weight cut or just getting in my own head. But I don't have a problem with that. So.
You know, being on a big stage as a freshman, but it's really just an opportunity for me to show everybody what I can do. So I wouldn't really say it's a fear. I would say it's really just a cool opportunity.
To
My biggest fear is us not wrestling to our best ability, but other than that, I'm excited to go out and wrestle.
My biggest fears, somebody on the team missing weight. I'm not really scared of anything else because I know how hard we work, and I know how well we handle ourselves at tournaments. So if we do everything right, there's nothing we should be scared of.
I'm definitely most excited about just getting out there, being able to fight with these guys, and just show off what I can really do.
I'm excited to definitely place and hopefully become a state champion. That's always what I'm looking forward to. But definitely being around with my teammates as well and like enjoying everything around me.
I'm most excited about just getting to represent Poway and put on a show for the people.
I'm most excited about, my sophomore year we took second as a team, junior year took second as a team. So to finish off my high school career with a team state title that we've been working hard for.
Poway Wrestling has been absolutely a powerhouse for 45 years. Total dominance in CIF and Masters, state championships in 1986, 1999, 2005, and 2009. But the California State Tournament had become a heartbreak hotel. In the last 15 years, Poway had lost 14 in a row, 7 to Clovis and 7 to Buchanan, taking 2nd through 5th year after year. Winning a state championship again, returning to the top of the podium, would take everything Poway had.
So going into day 2, Buchanan had 13 guys going into the quarterfinals, and we had only 10 going into the quarterfinals.
Wrestling is a sport of highs and lows, great accomplishments, devastating defeats, not normally associated with perfection. In the English language, the number 10 has come to signify perfection, a virtuoso, a masterpiece. In the quarterfinals of the 2024 state championships, Poway literally and figuratively had a perfect performance. They had 10, an unheard of 10 wrestlers in the quarterfinals, and they came away with 10 victories. 10 for 10 was the perfect 10.
I knew that Poway had 10 in the quarters, and I knew that Buchanan had 12 in the quarters. And so initially going into the state tournament, I thought, okay, Poway's got this. They're going to win this. Won't be easy, but I know they're going to win it. I was confident. Just based on the season that they had, it just seemed like the obvious next step. I mean, not only are they winning tournaments, but they're breaking records. They're getting, I mean, they scored 500 points at Masters. I don't know if that's ever been done. So definitely a special team. But 10 in the quarters, 12 in the quarters for Buchanan. So I'm driving, and I get a text message from Jake Polikoff, who was a former state placer for Poway in 2009. He was actually on their last state championship team. And he texts me something about the results. Like, oh, did you see that? Like, oh, that was crazy. Something like that. And I'm like, what? What do you mean? I go, quarters aren't until, 6 p.m., 5 p.m. And he goes, no, man, it's over. And I go, what? And I go, what happened? And he goes, Poway has 10 in the semis. And I'm driving here. So, like, I'm not sure, should I pull over? Do I need to go through the brackets and see what happened? Because I'm thinking of some of the matchups that Poway had. And, yeah, sure, they were supposed to have a good group of kids going into the semifinals, but not 10. So I didn't check all the results, but, communicating with Jake back and forth a little bit, wasn't texting and driving. But communicating with Jake, just realized that Poway had done something that I had never seen before. 10 in the semifinals at state. I was joking around at the state tournament. I was like, man, you guys are treating this like a local tournament. I'm like, wow, this is extremely impressive.
First of all, freaking amazing day. Give yourself a hand. That was record breaking. That was amazing. But I'm getting a lot of texts, a lot of calls from people. Great job, you guys got this. It's not done yet, right? This is by far over. This is not over. First of all, mathematically, by points, it's not over, right? I've seen crazy things happen. So we are in the position to win this tonight. Like, the amazing thing is, it's up to you guys. It's not like we have to rely on somebody else, some other team, right? We have to go out there and do exactly what we did today. Exactly the same thing that you guys did today. Okay? I would like to smash this tournament. I would like to break records. Whether you've been with us or not, whether you're new at this or not, we've been through a lot of years where it hasn't been like this. Let's make a statement tomorrow. And I made a prediction to Branstetter. He texted me tonight. I made a prediction that we would have 10 in the semis. He told me that we should. I said, if these guys wrestle up the par, we should have at least 10 in the semifinals.
Yeah, I'll say one thing. Raise your hand if you're an alumni. So I've listened to these guys. They always talk about who the #1 team is, and they argue and they say all that stuff. You guys have in your hands, girls and guys, the opportunity to shut them all the hell up and say, this, when you come back in 5-10 years, you're like, we were that team. They're laughing because you see the boards up there. It's in your hands, man. Have fun. Have fun tomorrow.
Yeah, I think one thing that, we told you guys this morning is like, go out there and show what you can do, show what Poway's about. And to be honest, you guys even exceeded my expectations in a lot of match. I was like, holy hell, you guys are good at wrestling. I was surprised in some of those, and it was awesome. It was a good surprise. Hopefully we have some more of those surprises tomorrow. That's about it from there.
I mean, I'll just say that I still think there's a gap between, like I talked to these, like how good you guys are and where you think you are. I still think there's still a gap. We know how fucking good you are, and I still watch the tournament. I'm surprised. I'm like, damn, man, I see these guys every day. We hit so much better, cool shit. Like we're better. You're better. Just have fun and be ready to take some adversity, and be excited when the adversity comes. Excited to be in a situation that's tough and see if you can persevere. That's it.
We may not get all 10 in the finals, right? Okay? Remember what you're working for. If you lose, I get it. We're gonna be upset. I don't want you to lose. We're gonna be upset, I'm sure, but you have a job to do in the consolations, all right? Today, freaking phenomenal jobs. I hope you guys can believe what we say about how good you are. Every one of you. Every one of you. It's just about doing it when you get out there, being consistent, right? The best wrestlers in the world, they're consistent all the time. And that's what it's about. Believe in yourself, believe in what we're telling you too. That you are that good. And go and take it from these other teams tomorrow. All right? Love you guys. Here we go.
I envision this team day 3. I envision them all in a pretty good spot, I forget what day 3 is. I think it's semifinals first day, so hopefully we have at least half our team in that semifinals, maybe even more. That'd be great. I know one thing for sure, Poway has a good reputation of doing better than even were expected, especially these past 5 years.
Nowhere else than the top of the podium, we work so hard, so it's hard to imagine myself in any other place.
I envision myself being in the finals along with my teammates and, just securing that state victory as a team and as an individual.
Obviously, I want to envision myself as a state champ, having fun with these guys, walking out of the arena, all celebrating.
I envision myself with my team and a state title. I envision all of our team placing at the state tournament.
Obviously holding a bracket, top of the podium, and just having a good time with our team after we win that state title. And then enjoying some pizza afterwards too.
Envision myself up on that podium holding that bracket.
High on that podium, hopefully holding that bracket. Hopefully I'm gonna win state. It's my last try to go all out.
I hopefully envision myself being in the finals and with my teammates around me being in the finals as well. And hopefully to get that team title that we've all been striving for.
At our little post-championship party, eating some good food and a lot of smiles. But at the same time, I've said to the kids before, Sunday's going to come. That's Saturday night. Sunday's going to come, and March is going to come, and the World Team Trials are going to come, and no matter what, we have to move on. Whether we win or we lose, there's going to be work to be done the following week. So. Yeah, it'd be great to be all smiles and excited Saturday night at our little party. We had a really good talk Friday night, and the kids were starting to figure out. They're asking me, Coach, I think we have it. I think we have it in the bag. I think it's already in. And I was telling them, no, we don't. I told them Buchanan's having a meeting right now too. They're talking about how great their comeback's going to be right now. But I told them, even if it was, we're coming, tomorrow we're coming to crush records. We don't want to just win, we want to crush records. Something new that I started doing a couple years ago is I don't look at the team scores during the day. So the first day I didn't know what the score was until we were riding home. Somebody told me we're behind by 17 points, whatever. Second day, same thing. I don't look at the scores. I don't know what we're scoring. And sometimes the coaches will ask me, do you want to know what the scores are? And normally I'll say no. I think Friday night after that quarterfinal, I had in my head, like, I think we have it, but I didn't want to let myself go there. After that, you know, and then you come in the next day and you got the semifinals right away. I think after the third or fourth win, I knew that's it. You know, hammer the nail in there. Now it's just, how do we want to be remembered? You know, do you want to be the team that squeaked by and won that championship with a nice, you know, with some wins in the finals? Or you want a team that, you know, so to speak, puts your foot on the throat and makes a statement as the greatest team ever in California. So that second day and the beginning of the third day, I you know, in my head, I knew that this year was a little bit different for them. You know, we had the number one guys, a lot of number one guys and a lot of number two guys that could pop into the finals. Whereas that's their advantage usually. You know, the past couple of years we've come in second place. We've had a lot of fourth seeds and fifth seeds and sixth seeds and things like that. This year, that's what they had. And true to seed, you know, they won that first day. They won all their matches. That second day, they started to hit some guys that were better than them. And you know, on paper, what was supposed to happen, that did happen in reality. They started getting beat by some guys that were better than them. But again, they're really well coached, you know, so in the back of my mind, I'm thinking to myself, get ready for anything, you know. We had to, number one thing is we had to perform. That was the biggest thing. I don't care what they did. I knew that if our guys performed, we would win, no matter what. And I said that from the beginning. It's a great feeling to go into that state tournament knowing that it's up to us. We don't have to rely on another program or another kid to knock some of their guys off. We go in and do our job. It's going to take care of itself.
number 1 seed from Central Catholic, Victor Alexander Gutierrez, and he's taking on the 5 seed from Poway, Elias Navida. He had a little bit of a bar half, slid off to the side, and a 2 takedown for Navida. Elias Navida upsets the 4 seed in the quarters, and he's 5 seconds away from upsetting the number 1 seed. 3 seconds to go. And Poway is asserting their dominance here in the semis. Your winner and finalist, the 5 seed from Poway High School, Elias Navida.
This is the weight class to watch, ladies and gentlemen. 1, 2, 3, and 4, all nationally ranked. The state finals matchup from last year went into overtime. Champion taking on Laird Root, senior out of Poway. And here we go, Estrada in the red ankle band, Root in the green. I believe Root's committed to North Carolina. Estrada committed to Iowa. Estrada, the overtime monster, last year semis and finals, was able to win both matches in overtime. And I'm sure both coaches have been game planning for this match for a while now. Estrada, the second-ranked wrestler, Root, the 4th. But when it comes down to seeds, they're 2 and 3. And Root in on a shot, first period already. Estrada looking to scramble. Root coming out the back. Estrada got control of the ankles. We might go to stalemate here.
Laird Root could have easily changed weights and got a guaranteed state championship. But for the good of the team, and under the philosophy of metal sharpens metal, he's chose to stay in the toughest weight class in the country, and maybe the toughest weight class this state has ever seen. Living proof was, in the semifinals, Laird Root faced a 3-time California state champion. He took him head on, and with the power of a Paul Baird or a Henry Yorba, both state championships won by both of those all-time greats, Laird Root hit the perfect double to win in overtime in thrilling fashion. Undaunted, unafraid to go take on the state champion who had been there 3 times in the semifinals.
12 seconds left here in overtime. Root in on his own shot. He's in on a deep double. He's able to put Estrada in trouble. He gets a takedown. Laird Root does it. He does it. Takedown for Root. He makes it to the finals. A reverse of last year's state finals. Great match by both wrestlers. And Root is finally able to get it done. Wow. Great match by both wrestlers. Oh my God, folks. That final's gonna be fun.
75-pound semifinals. Your number 1 ranked wrestler from Poway, Angelo Posada, taking on the 4 seed, Joe Buck from Clovis. And Posada with a quick takedown to go up 2-0. Right now, Posada's trying to make quick work of him with some near fall. The Poway train is rolling, and the Poway train is moving on. Your winner and finalist, the Stanford commit, making his second trip back to the finals, the number 1 seed from Poway High School, Angelo Posada. Robert Platt, the returning state champ at 195 pounds. He's committed to go out and wrestle in the EIWA at Columbia, and he's taking on the 3 seed. And there's the 2 takedowns from Murillo. Gets the separation, gets the escape. Nice elbow slide. Robert Platt. Clears that hip out, trying to circle behind, grabs the ankle, and gets the reversal to go up 5-3. There's the escape. And we're just kind of amazed by the fan out here at Poway. Like, I mean, they're having a monster round, but like the Poway fans that are directly behind us here, every single move saying, these fans are excited. They're in a good position to win the state title. And now we got Platt trying to make it back to the finals. And Poway's train continues to rumble down the tracks. Your winner and finalist, the returning state champ at 215 pounds, your number 1 seed from Poway, Robert Platt.
On championship night, the March of All-Americans is royal, remarkable, and regal. Royal because every young man is automatically an All-American. Royal. Remarkable because it is the summa cum laude of the great wrestlers, the top 8 of 1,000, 0.8 of 1%. Remarkable. Regal, because number 3 through number 8, all Americans have been determined. What is left is the championship match. Number 1 against number 2. Glory, glory, hallelujah.
Of his terrible swift soul, his truth is marching on. Glory, glory,
California, the Golden State. Movies, money, magic kingdoms. Beaches, fun, fun, fun. The 7th largest economy in the world. But the majesty of California is found in its geography. Mount Whitney is the tallest peak in the United States, and the deserts of Death Valley are the lowest point in the States, and they all lead to the deep and powerful Pacific Ocean. As it goes in these other areas, so it goes in high school wrestling. An average Western state of, let's say, 3.5 million residents, 10% the size of California, will actually have 84 state champion wrestlers and 6 team state champions. California does not use divisions or classifications. There's one team champion, and there's only 14 individual champions. So 10 times the size and only 10% of the winners. It is exhilarating to win in California. It is as if you're on the top of Mount Whitney. But to lose is humiliating. It's like being on the depths of the deserts of Death Valley. California wrestling shows the majesty of this great state.
A California state championship is arguably the hardest state title to win because of how many schools are in California, and it's the only state tournament. You know, people can argue Pennsylvania, but they also have 2 state tournaments, and they're a much smaller state. So that's why I think California is the toughest.
I'm going to go ahead on the record and say it. I think the California State Tournament is the toughest tournament to win in the country. And I think this because it's the biggest state with only one division per weight. There's one state champion per weight. There's no 4 divisions. There's no 4A champ, 5A champ, any of that. It's one champion per weight with over 800 to 900 schools. I think that's what makes it the toughest tournament in the country. I think other states like Ohio and Pennsylvania and Iowa are still tough, but to say that you're not watering down competition, especially at certain weights, by splitting them up into divisions, I just think you're lying to yourself. I think what California has done with its state tournament is special. I think we run it like the NCAA championships. When I look at it, I see the NCAA championships, and I also think our level of wrestling is very high. I think we have great wrestlers, and I think our top wrestlers are just as tough as the toughest wrestlers in Pennsylvania, Ohio, and some of those toughest states.
I coached him. I was the Poway Elite coach when he was little, and we've been all over the country. I traveled with that kid, and his dad was a big part of the program and traveled with us. Great guy, and he handled all the wrestling side of Elias. They were two peas in the pod. They were always together. Those guys. He watched all the practices, went to every tournament, and unfortunately, he passed away a couple of years ago. And I know that had a big effect on Elias.
My dad, he'd drive like me and my brothers everywhere. He would just spend like all of his money, all of his time on us. He always wanted the best for me and my brothers. And when he passed away in 2020, it's like a piece of my heart got ripped out of my body. And it was a really hard time for my family and I, but I knew I just had to keep on pushing, keep on working for him.
Hurry, come on! Coach, Elias, coach if you got it!
Went from Fargo finalist, doing great in school, state placer, high state placer, to last year not placing at all, and for whatever reason. So you wonder what's this year going to be like. But he proved he was the guy early on, and his style of wrestling changed since the year before.
But last year, I didn't really have like many attacks. I would just like go after him, and I didn't really have like a number one shot or like a takedown I could go to. But this year, I was able to figure out like my 1 and 2 attacks. So yeah, it really helped out a lot.
He had some big wins last year, but it was always squeaking things out. 1-0, not a lot of shooting on the feet, trying to keep things close. And this year we noticed, he's following the directives. He's taking shots, he's taking risks, he's wrestling to win. He's not wrestling to not lose. It showed throughout the year. And we have this Cinderella story at the end. He's seeded 5. So 5 is the top of the bracket. You're going to at least have to go through number 4, and if you beat that guy, you're going to have to go through number 1. And that's exactly what he did.
When I was going into the finals match, I just knew I couldn't be too high off of my previous wins. I just knew just one more, and I'll be a state champion. So yeah, I put everything I could into the match.
In life, in warfare, in wrestling, it's not the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the dog. There are 14 weight classes from 106 pounds up to 287 pounds. 181 pounds difference. It goes from the pebble to the boulder, from the Chihuahua to the St. Bernard. You can only measure the size of a champion by the size of their heart. So it is with the great story of Elias Navida, whose heart was broken in the passing of his hero and number 1 fan, his father. Somehow, Elias Navida found a way to win the state championship in a miracle performance fit for the ages. At the end of the tournament, all the 14 state champions voted for the champion of champions. And Elias Navida received the votes from his 13 champion peers. Only the insiders would know that there was actually another vote, the 14th vote, cast by his father, his hero, his number 1 fan, sent a vote from heaven that Elias would be the champion of champions. And the size of Elias Navida's heart was gigantic. And he was champion of champions.
Yeah, I feel like since I was like the first ever from Poway to get the champion of champions, I'd rather like have it here than just like have it at home collecting dust. It would be cool to have, but I'd rather have everyone be able to see it and like all the little kids see it. And yeah, I think it'd be cooler if it was here.
Fantastic match in the finals. I beat a kid that I hadn't seen that kid wrestle in person before that match. And that kid was good. That kid was really good. And but Elias is a gamer. He's definitely a gamer, and I don't know if he was as good a wrestler as that kid, but he came out on top. He found a way to win. That's what true champions do.
Feeling knowing your father was looking down.
It was awesome. I knew I made him proud, and it was such an awesome feeling.
It's awesome, champ. And then furthermore, being the champion of champions, I'm sure that's exactly where your dad envisioned you anyway, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Angelo's another kid club kid. He's been with us for a long time. He's been dreaming of this state championship since he's 10, 11 years old, and we've been through a lot with him and his family. Last year, came in second in the state as well, so a little disappointment for him. This year he had some injuries also. A lot of people don't know about that. He banged up a little bit.
Walking through the tunnel for the first time, in that arena, what's that like? Like what's going through your mind at that time?
Oh, it's awesome. Right then and there, I'm hyped. I'm ready to go. That's kind of like it switches. I guess when it's go time. And all what I've done this whole year, it's finally like this is a tournament. Just give it my all.
Angelo Posada.
So going into the match, first period I got a quick takedown in the first 10 seconds, and then I ended up riding him out for the whole period. And then going into the second round, I chose bottom and got him to escape really quick. And then he got on my legs, which kind of surprised me, and I hit like a counter defense move, and then ended up taking him down. And then I just had to ride him out, and that was it.
Cowboy wisdom says, there's never been a cowboy who's never been throwed. There's never been a horse who's never been rode. So it is in wrestling. Monumental heights, dastardly despicable lows, ups and downs, around and around and around it goes. Where it ends, nobody knows. But all that wisdom, all that chaos was completely replaced by sheer perfection from Angelo Posada. There was never a wrestler that he didn't ride. There was not a wrestler he could not take down. There was not a match that he came close to losing. He was perfection personified. His magnificent performance on the mat matched his brilliance and report cards in the classroom. Straight A's, wrestling dominance, leads to a full ride at Stanford. And the junior rode them all, and defied cowboy wisdom, and showed us angelic perfection as a great champion. Angelo Maravilloso. Angelo Magnifico. Angelo Perfecto.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was kind of like surreal. Even to like the last 10 seconds, I was like, wait, is this gonna happen? But yeah, after I won, I was super excited to finally avenge like what happened last year where I got second. So it was awesome to finally be on top. I kind of didn't really want to, smile and celebrate yet until that final was over. But once that final, once it was all over, I kind of like realized like we won. We just beat them.
Angelo is just so disciplined with everything that he does. You know, we work at that training lab, and he's the guy. He's one of the guys that, you know, he's calling the guy all the time that works with us. You know, how many calories am I supposed to be eating? What's my hydration look like? He's all over that. That spills over into his academics too. I always joke with him. You know, he's not the smartest kid on the team, but he's in, you know, 3 or 4 AP classes. He gets A's and O's. He's in the highest math he can be in. He works his butt off in the classroom just as much as he does in the wrestling room. And that's why he's going to Stanford. Just excellence in the wrestling room and in school, and just his social life. He does everything right.
My mindset going into the state tournament compared to last year, you know, I was a lot more nervous last year, and this year, especially coming to Poway, my friends and my coaches helped me realize that I have to be confident. You know, I'm confident in what I do. I'm confident in the training that I put in, the time, the work, or the effort, and most importantly, I'm confident in God that He's going to help me perform out there. Poway is just so much different. You know, when you step in this room, you know, it's just, I mean, for me, it's just going to be a bad day. We're going to be in here grinding, and it's going to be hot, and you know, we're just going to be pushing each other to as hard as we can go. So I like to go in as the underdog, but it really doesn't matter to me. I'm going to wrestle the same match regardless. A little nerve-wracking, but it's not too bad. You know, it's more exciting than anything. I think so. But I like it better being the underdog.
Robert Platt. Vince Lombardi was such a championship coach. The Super Bowl trophy is named after him. Lombardi once said, "Once you're lucky, twice you're good." In Royal Wars, the same adage goes, "Heavy is the head that wears the crown." Robert Platt transferred into Poway as a defending state champion, and there was heavyweight on his broad shoulders. At the Doc Buchanan tournament, in the championship match, he lost a little takedown and lost in the match. Many in the crowd jeered and sneered and said he would not and could not repeat. He did what the great ones do. He went back to work. He went back to his faith. He went back to his championship pedigree. And in preparation at the Masters tournament in the Imperial Valley, the fans from his old school cheered for him as the fans from his new school cheered for him. And he was ready to go back to state, to atone, to redeem, to reclaim, to not be lucky, but to be great. In the championship match, he faced the one person who had beaten him, and he came home with the crown. Lombardi would have been proud. It was a kingly prize for the second-time champion, the great Robert Platt.
And another champion, a two-time defending California State champion, the senior from Poway High School, Robert Platt.
When did you know for sure that you guys had it clinched as a team?
I think after we sent 7 into the finals, I knew there was nothing they could do to, you know, and then they only sent 2 into the finals, so I knew we had it from there. It was awesome. Like, you know, I've only had my freshman, sophomore, and junior year, so, but, you know, for them to win like 7 years straight, it was awesome just, you know, for Poway, like, to bring it home for us, you know.
It was pretty awesome. I mean, I feel like everybody wanted to see Buchanan lose. I mean, they've been on top for so long, and there's a pretty good rivalry going between us. But I mean, I've been working with this same like group of kids, and like we've been together for so long. We've been through so much, and to finally get that, it was actually pretty awesome. There was nothing like it. So
Myers, he was really proud of us. Kind of just felt like I did my job, and then I don't know. There's no words that can describe it. Myers smiling, there's no words that can describe that feeling.
And I mean, we all wanted it so bad, and we all know that Myers wanted it so bad. And for me, and I talked to a couple other guys about it, like at state, like we wanted nothing more than to just like make Myers proud, because he always wanted that so bad, and he always does so much for us. So it was pretty awesome to see him just smiling all night after clinching that title. It was pretty cool. He was all happy.
You could just tell it was a special team, and not just from the results, but I mean start to finish, just how they held themselves just extremely composed throughout the whole season with the amount of pressure on their shoulders. They performed at every point of the season that they needed to, and they performed so well at the end of the season. You have to give props. You have to give credit where credit is due. The coaches did an amazing job preparing that team for everything they needed to prepare them for. It gives me a little taste of Penn State, where not only are you preparing as much as you need to prepare, the perfect amount of preparation, but I think in sports it always takes a little bit of luck, and I think the most prepared are also the most lucky, and so you kind of have to earn your luck. And so I think that's what Poway did. I think they did get a little lucky here and there in a couple matches, but I think it was all due to their hard work, their diligence, and just everything they did throughout the year, throughout the off season to get to this point. And so it was cool when they had locked it up, because I remember in 2009 when they had won it. I remember Victor Lopez was on the team, Jake Polikoff, Ian Dobby, Henry Orba, Conrad Snell, definitely some older names, but it was special. It was special. A team from San Diego winning the state tournament. You know, there's rivalries in San Diego, but at the end of the day, at the state tournament, we're all one team. And so to see that was special, and then to do it again 15 years later, it doesn't get any more special than in the way they did it. Was like nothing we've ever seen before. It was cool.
feel being a champ?
All the glory to God. It feels amazing.
Being a champ.
Let's go.
How's it feel, Angelo?
Feels great, baby. Now we're on top. Yeah!
How's it feel, baby?
It was amazing.
What was your mindset going into semi? Hey, Coach, how's it feel?
Oh, fantastic, man. Been waiting 6 years for this, man. This is good.
In my opinion, what made Poway so special this year was that they were so dominant throughout the entire season, and that they were able to stay consistent and that dominant the entire season and into the postseason. Every year, Poway's always winning tournaments, but this year what stood out was Hall of Fame duels. They took third with the top teams in the country there. They won the Doc Buchanan tournament. They won Reno TOC, and then just what they were able to do in the postseason and at some of these other tournaments where they're normally the favorite and they normally win, but the gap that they set between themselves and the rest of the field was something I've never seen Poway do before. And not only did they have a season where they performed better than any other Poway team has ever performed, but they performed better than any other California high school team has ever performed as well. So what made this season special was just the sheer dominance from start to finish, from beginning to end. From the first tournament all the way to the state championships, they were breaking records, they were winning matches, and they were winning matches that they shouldn't be winning. I think, you have to hand it to the guys who were the state champions, to Navida, to Platt, to Posada. They were the bare bones of the team, and then you had the other state finalists who were there as well, but it's really guys like Mario Carini, a freshman taking third at state at 144 pounds. Things like that is what stands out to me, where he was in middle school just the year before, and a year later, not only is he at a weight class that is not for underclassmen, but he's beating guys that have already placed at state, that have already committed to colleges, and doing that as a freshman at the California State Tournament is extremely impressive. So definitely guys like that factored big time at the state meet for Poway, but it was their just consistent, strong horses throughout the season that really just kept them consistent. And I mean, for a high school team to be this dominant in a state like California is, it's unique, and you don't see it very often. So to me, this Poway team was special, not only because they were so dominant, but they made history, and they made history, and they did it in dominant fashion.
I was telling somebody else, there's so many pillars on the team. You have those seniors and those stud juniors. You got Edwin Sierra, probably one of the top 3 hardest workers in the room. You got Paul Kelly. These guys have been so consistent, all year long, and Platt and Laird Rue. You have those guys, but then we had some young bucks in there, that Arsini, Kikinu, stud all year long, ranked number 1 in the state, nationally ranked. The kid, he doesn't get shaken too much. He's a big time wrestler. He's national champ and good freestyle Greco, so he's been around. And then you got another freshman, Mario Carini. He gets on a roll and everybody starts following his lead. He's 3rd place as a freshman. That's really good. And then you got guys like Adam Farha. He's a little bit different from the other guys, but I always say that's a guy that everybody knows he loves to fight. He will fight anybody, anywhere. I thought he was going to fight a couple coaches this year, but he loves to fight, and everybody gets excited when he goes out there to wrestle. So yeah, and just everybody on the team. You got Jack Estevez that brings something to the table. All these guys, everybody contributed. I think we had 14 pillars, on on this team, you know, some higher than others with their leadership because they're, you know, a little bit more consistent and you know, seniors and juniors. But I think we had 14 pillars on this team, and that's what made us the greatest team in California this year.
The biggest accomplishment Poway had this year, I would just say the program in total. The amount of kids that went at every level, freshmen, JV, varsity A, varsity B, the females, the women wrestlers, the style that they competed at this year was a relentless style. It was attacking all the time, and it was just trying to do bonus points, you know, and we're winning tournaments with the B team by like 200 points, beating teams that are ranked in the state. You know, I mean, it was really impressive, the depth, I would say, of our program this year, and just the mindset of all the kids. It's like, we're not going to win the tournament, we're going to set the record of most points ever at this tournament, and they did at almost every tournament they went to. They blew the record out of the water, and I think that's very impressive to be that dominant and that deep.
We really believe that people in general, especially kids, not just wrestlers, should do hard things every day. You should strive to do difficult things every day. So when you are in a real tough spot in life, you've done this before, you know, and it's a little bit easier. So if we can put these kids through difficult tasks and on a daily basis, and they're looking for that, they're actually seeking out these difficult tasks instead of shying away from them. When it's on the line, when it's just you and that other guy, and you know, 7,000 to 8,000 people watching, what's going to happen? You know, are you going to hide, or because everybody's going to know? Have you put yourself through that trauma, you know, so to speak, in your daily life? And that's not just in wrestling, right? That's academically, that's socially, that's everything. You know, doing hard things is very, very important.
With the dawn of a new day upon us, we stand united as warriors of passion, of determination, echoing through the annals of time with every roar of our voices and every pulse of our hearts. Together, we have etched an indelible mark on history, celebrating not just our triumphs, but the spirit of resilience that binds us as one. Each cheer reverberates like thunder across the fields of glory, where dreams take flight and champions rise from the ashes of challenge, embodying the strength of titans, forged in the crucible of adversity. As we bask in the brilliance of this moment, let it fuel our ambition for the next chapter. The journey does not end here. It is merely the prologue to an even grander saga. With eyes set firmly upon the horizon, we resolve to seek greatness once more. A quest for repeat victories that will echo through the ages. Our hearts beat in unison, igniting a fire that fuels our unrelenting pursuit of excellence as we channel the spirit of titans who once walked this earth. As we look ahead, whispers of another groundbreaking season linger in the air, capturing our legacy and the stories of those who dared to dream. We stand on the precipice of a new adventure, ready to inspire future generations to tell the tale of our undying spirit and relentless drive. Together we shall write our own legend, our Titan legacy, as eternity beckons us to rise, unwavering, unyielding, champions forever.